What up, YouTube? You got the Sarge here. Big shout out to the Crap Nation crew. What up, Crap Nation people? So, this is my trip report from visiting Shreveport, Louisiana, El Dorado Casino. We just went there on, uh, was it Monday? Tuesday. And so we got back in late yesterday evening. And so this my trip report. So first thing first, I wish I had good news to report, saying that we broke the bank down there and came back with our pockets overloaded with cash, but that is not the case. We went down there and we made a nice contribution to the Shreveport casino economy, the Shreveport, Louisiana economy. So yeah, when all was said and done, bankroll took a hit, but and things just never fully recovered from there. Actually, made a donation of about 1K to the economy. So let's just leave it at that. So we got a couple of notes here for our trip report. First thing was once we got there, we got checked in. Just a little thing, because this was the first time in over a year that myself and my wife has actually gotten out to call ourselves going anywhere. Since COVID hit last year around this time, we have not left the house. But since we just got vaccinated, we've both been vaccinated, we decided, hey, let's go ahead and step out and test the waters and see how things are. So we got down there, and everything. The first thing we noticed when we pulled up was there was no valet parking. I always we love using valet parking, because you know what, when the valet shows up, I always slip the guy at 20. I was like, hey, take care of my Beamer, slip him a 20, and he's like, yes sir. He put in undercover park and all that stuff. No biggie. We end up having to do it ourselves, but I like starting my day like that when I get to the casino, cause it's a good calmer. You tip, as soon as you get there. So yeah, they say all those guys got laid off, and I feel sorry for them. They had a long talk with a pit boss about people. They say over 70 people got laid off, and quite a bit of folks, just in general got laid off. So anyhow, this camera look a little low. Let me adjust this up a little. Oh, there we go. Yeah. Okay, so after we went and we got checked into our room, we came downstairs, went over to the table, and I scoped out the tables to see what everything looked like. My wife went to go do her slot thing. I went over to the crap table, the crapless crap table, and they had a regular table open, but I scoped out everyone chip rack to see was anybody making any money, anybody hitting the black, and everybody's chip rack was pretty bare. But I was like, okay, and this is why I'm here, so let me just go ahead and try to get on the table. It was a 2-hour wait to get on the table. You could only have 8 total players on the table, and it seemed like the folks that were there were not giving up their slot, whether they was losing or not, they weren't going anywhere. So it's like, okay. And finally, slot came open, and the dealer motioned over to me, hey, we got a slot for you, sir. So of course, you guys know me, I'm a lefty, and where would they put me? At stick left 3. So now I'm in the most awkward position. So I was like, okay, how am I gonna shoot from here? I need to figure out something real quick. So couple of guys later, the dice made its way around to me, and initially I bought in for $1,000 there. By the time it came to me, I was already down a quick 300, because there was a lot of PSOing going on. The table was just cold, let's put it that way. But as the dice was coming to me, I was trying to figure out, okay, how am I going to shoot the dice, And then I remembered, hey, you know what? I remember seeing George do this throw the other day, where he was kind of like shoveling the dice, kind of chucking them, on the hand, a nice little throw. And I was like, okay, cool, you know what? Yeah, I can do that. So when the dice came over, I did that, and I got a nice little 5 roll out of it. that before the seven raised ugly head. So that kind of worked out. So note to self, uh, learn to shoot from all different positions, especially now in COVID times where you don't know what slot you're going to be on the table. And then when people have a slot on the table, it seems like they're not going anywhere. Okay, they're not going anywhere. They're not giving up this slot. So we, whatever opens up, you gotta get in where you fit in. So I I I need to learn to shoot from all other positions. So and I could have. I'm good with the ends. I just need to figure out how to handle stick left, shooting from any stick left position. Stick right, I'm good with. Okay, that's my normal positions. Uh, During a few sessions, I I decided, you know what, I'm gonna instead of not, I decided I'm gonna bet on all the shooters, but I'm gonna do it in a methodical fashion. So I'm going 3 hits and then regress. So and it started working. I was up 300, not up 300. I got back 300 of the 1K that I was already down. So I was down about 700, making a nice comeback. And then, would you believe the folks at the table started giving me flack? They was like, man, you keep doing that. Okay, here's what would happen. Every time I would regress my bet, the next time the shooter would shoot, he would 7 out. And they was blaming me for that. They was like, see, every time you regress that, it happened with 4 guys. I, I bullshit you not. 4 guys back to back. Every time the dice, every time after they got their 3 hits in, I'll tell the dealer, hey, go ahead and take me to table minimum. And she would do that, and then, after it happened the 4th time, everybody, some of the guys were like, see, every time you do that. I was like, really? And then the dealer said, yeah, see, I gotta stop and I gotta regress your bets down and blah, 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 blah. And I was thinking, hey, this is part of the game, okay? Just like when you don't someone, that's part of the game. But you know what? I kept my mouth shut. I just felt it was kind of the vibes. This was some cold vibes on the table. And like I said, it's hard, just trying to find a slot on the table. So I don't know. I didn't like that. I just found that kind of weird. So also in reference to my little experiment about you know using the spectrum analyzer to analyze the sound of the dice hitting the table. Yes, I did do some recording. However, unfortunately, when I got back home here and checked out all my audio recordings that I did, it it's all corrupt. Something went wrong in the process, so I won't be able to use it. But I'm trying to see if there's a way I can clean it up and figure out some stuff using some filters and But I did do some data mining. Okay, that's what I'm calling data mining in doing that audio recording of the dice hitting the table and stuff. And more to follow on that. Okay, uh, so just another little observation. Again, we're living in COVID times. When we got down, when about 7 o'clock, we decided let's step out and go grab a bite to eat, and we'll come back and play some more. Well, we got outside and went over to the restaurant. Walked up to the maitre d' at the restaurant. The lady said, "Table for 2." I was like, "Yeah." She's like, "Are you on the list?" It's like, "Huh, list?" She's like, "Oh, no problem. I'll put you on the list. Here go your number. You're number 10." It's like, what? So, yeah, that was not a bit of a surprise, but a little bit of a downer once again. Figure we just go in there, grab a bite to eat. Guess what? We waited an hour to get seated, to get inside and get our meal. And, there you are standing around for an hour and you had to be there. It's not like we could go back inside and go play and then come back out when our time came. Because so again, this was just some weird stuff, but I understand they still at only 50% capacity of the dining room. So again, these are COVID times we're living in, man. And this was my wife and I was experiencing this for the first time because, like I said, we haven't really been anywhere since this whole COVID debacle has happened. Okay, so so my main takeaway is what I picked up from being at the casino was that, guys, if you don't have a off access shot in your toolbox, get one. Okay, you need to practice a off access shot because most of us practice a nice three finger over the top grip, or however you two finger whatever toss. But no matter what I did, I it wasn't a set. I tried different set. I start off with a 5-4 hardware set. I was double pitching, end up with a couple of 5-2s. I was like, okay, let's go to a 3V. And when those dice left my hand, I made sure it was nice and tight. But for some reason, they were just not staying on axis. The dice were staying on axis when they left my hand. When they hit the table, so after sitting there and looking at some of the regular guys who live in the area, the guys and gals who live in the area throw, I know none of them use a on axis shot. Period. Either they would tumble the dice down the table, or they would kind of do this, kind of throw the dice up a little and let them bounce, and they would bounce and go up into the pyramid and die. So make sure you practice a off axis shot. Okay, and on average, most of them had decent rolls. I'm gonna say if between 5 and 10, a couple of guys had maybe 25 and 30 rolls. Like I said, my highest roll was a 9. Okay, and I yeah, 9 is normally a decent SOR for me, but I only had 1 9. All the rest of it was either PSOs or rolls of less than 5. Okay, that doesn't bode well at all. So yes, I've been practicing off axis shot. Okay, and also something else too, guys. If you try to add some more bounce to your table. If your table don't have bounce, I'm gonna tell you, I should have stayed. I had swapped back over my surfaces out here. You guys probably seen me swapping surface. I'm staying with my bouncy surface until I start doing some table tuning. I'm gonna stay exclusively with the bouncy surface because what I've noticed is the tables down there, at least in Shreveport where I was at, the tables all have bounce to them. Not closed cell phone bounce, but they have bounce to them. Okay, some serious bounce. When those dice hit the table, they don't just they bounce. Okay, they move about a little. So maybe that might have been one of the reasons why I was having problems. My table isn't. I like to think as my table is semi-bouncy, but maybe it's not semi-bouncy enough. Okay, so I'm going to my bouncy table from now on, my bouncy setup. But anyhow, bottom line is, it was just great to get out the house with the wife, go have a little fun. We hadn't been out in over a year plus due to COVID, and now that we finally got a chance to get out there, we see things are a little bit different out there. But hey, we had fun. Okay, we had fun. We didn't make any money. Like I said, we made a nice little 1K contribution to Shreveport, Louisiana economy, but that's okay. Plan to go down there and get it back. Incidentally, our next casino run probably is going to be to Choctaw down there in right here in Oklahoma. So I'll probably be posting up about that, and maybe we might be able to do a Texas mini Texas meetup down there, and look forward to getting with some of you guys and hitting the tables, having some fun. So hey, with that being said, It's been the Sarge Trip Report. Take care, my peeps. Sarge out.